Welcome in, everyone, to episode 124 of Instigate Success, building an ABA franchise, the official podcast of the Hoosier State Instigators. I am your host, as always, Jake Schoen, aka Jakey Muffins, here Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. And scheduling update, actually, I know I said I'd be back here for a while. Next weekend, that Friday next week, May 8th, I will not be here for the podcast. I'll be back after that. Um, and also a heads up on tonight's episode. It'll probably be a little bit shorter just because my computer is having some issues tonight. Um, so if it crashes or anything like that, I apologize in advance. But I've been having some issues with the stylus not working, and there is no other item that I've got here to type or anything like that with. So we are trying to fix that right now. But so that's just a heads up on that. So tonight's episode, we'll look at some of the stuff we've been looking at in the past. I did notice on the ABA website, they actually put up what their projected divisions are going to be for next year. So we can take a look at that and see where things are in that, because we have seen pretty much every year that the divisions change. So we can go over that. Obviously, we've went over the championship last week. In the future, once I do have everything fully functioning, I'm going to put together more of the traditional what we had in the past, where we had the slides and whatnot, to kind of break down our season. I just hadn't been able to do it with the computer issues this time around. So gonna go with that. So let's actually start with that, and then we might as well break down some of the recent posts and videos that we've been doing, and kind of break down some of the stuff we see on that side. So I figure that kind of makes some good content as well. All right, so this is over on the ABA website. You can see on here. So we've got the final from the championship up there, the Austin Matson Buffalo Extreme. But this is right here. It says 26-27. So you see there's no stats or anything. But you can see they do have the divisions on here with the teams. So we can take a look through here and see some of the things that kind of stand out as far as new teams or divisions, and such. So our division looks like it would wind up being the same as what we got put into at the end of last year, the Central Blue division. And pretty much most of these teams are going to be the same. So Akron Aviators were there, obviously us Hoosier State Instigators, Indiana Legends, Lions, and Shuckers. Then you got these new teams here, the Naptown Pirates and the Port Huron Wolves. So those two are new teams. And then the Steel City Yellow Jackets, the winners of the division last year. Taking a look at the red division, it's the same as what it ended with last year. Phoenix, Commerce, Pros, Aces, and Kings. Believe that would mean that it's like a Tennessee and Ohio division now. No Indiana teams in that red division. The black division is your Chicago division. So you got the Fury Knights, and I'm guessing that's a new team, the Native Hawks. I don't think they were around last season, as far as I remember. And the Rebels all hail in Chicago, as well as your Windy City Inferno and Southland Saints. The Central Region White Division. This is interesting because I could have sworn, and I might actually pull this up because I could have sworn one of these teams that I'm seeing on there is pretty far away. Let's see. But in the white division, you've got the 402 Elite. The second one we're going to skip for now and come back. Let me see if I can figure out more on that. The Missouri Capitals, North Tulsa Natives, River City Gamblers, and St. Louis Spirits. I believe all of those teams were around last season in the same division. The Maggio D, guessing that's how you say it. I could have sworn. I'm gonna have to pull out the phone for reference here. Could have sworn they are not that local as far as geographically. Okay, yeah, I had thought so. That's I thought what I seen earlier. So this was from the ABA Facebook account. They posted that the Amaggio Die, that team there, the new one, that's in Colorado. So I would imagine that might get moved out to a Western team at some point. But if not, that's crazy travel, I feel like, for them. Um, but I guess we shall see, because as far as I remember, Colorado is not super close to St. Louis. But I guess that's something to keep an eye on. Out in the East, in the Blue Division, I believe that's a new team, the Bennington Martins. Boston Green Sharks and Burlington Revolution, I believe, are all new teams. As well as actually, I believe the Vermont Coyotes, Worcester Majors, and then teams from last season. I know the New Hampshire Kings, New England Lightning, I believe the Massachusetts Wolves, and possibly the Saratoga Racers. But that's what we got in the Blue Division for out east. The White Division in the East, again, this is all based off of what they currently are showing. That one is still stacked. Binghamton Bulldogs, Buffalo Extreme, Central PA Kings, Herkimer OGs, Philly Thunder and Uptown Ballers, Rochester Reapers, Syracuse Monarchs, and the York City Raptors. A lot of those teams very competitive. The Extreme in the championship this past year. Then you got the Black Division, Bridgeport Kings, Burlington Thoroughbreds, definitely a new team there. Have not seen them before. Connecticut Surge, believe that's also a new team. Delaware Dogs return, as well as the Hartford Colts. Hudson Valley Rivermen, I feel like might be new. Long Island Strong Arm, they were from last season. New Jersey Soldiers, possibly new, as well as the New York Lights, Wolves, and the Waterbury Sharks. So that's a second Shark team that I've seen. The red division in the East, you've got the Carolina Kings, DC Crank, DC Senate, the 96ers out in Edgewood, High Point Pistons, that's definitely got to be new. The Lion Nation, not sure where that's based, but possible. My guess would be PA, just based off of the Nittany Lions. Got the Little Chicago Kings, Prince George's Valor, Reedsville Reapers, Richmond Ram Chargers, Roanoke Rapid Pirates, and SPC Elite Sports. If we go down south into the Black Division, that's definitely a new team there. Alabama Smoke, Circle City Pythons, Gulf Coast Gladiators, Gulfport Kings, Lafayette Ballers, Louisiana Kingdom Riders, that's definitely new. Mississippi Silverbacks, and Mississippi Delta Lucky Ducks, both returning, as well as North Alabama War Dogs, River City Generals, and Tri City Takeover. In the Blue Division, you got Amarillo Shock, I believe that's new. Austin Bats, the defending champions. CTX Chaos, Frisco Blaze, Lone Star Crusaders, I feel like is new. Midlothian Marshals, Southern Smoke, I feel like is new as well. Uh, you got a bunch of these Texas teams: Texas Nighthawks, Purple Kings, Red Wolves, and Seraphim. I think Seraphim is new. West Texas Lightning definitely I feel is new, as well as the Wichita Fall Netburners. Then you got your red division there in the Beta Conference. Your Atlanta, a lot of Atlanta teams. So Atlanta Aliens, Atlanta Defenders, Chattanooga Strike out in Tennessee, Columbus Skyhawks. Actually, I feel like there maybe there's a different Columbus there. Georgia Magic and Southwest Warriors and Stonecrest Songstreppers. You got the White Division, which has a lot more teams scheduled than last season. Last season, it was just the Florida Tropics and I believe the County Royals. I don't think the other teams had played. But you got Bold City Rattlers, Brevard Aces, Clay County Storms, Hawthorne Hurricane, Miami Waves, North Florida Raiders, St. Augustine Glory, and Tallahassee Musketeers. I can tell you, even in Florida, if you got a team in Miami and a team in North Florida, Tallahassee, those areas, that's a lot of travel too. But it's still Florida. Then you got out west in the Alpha A division, the Antelope Valley Bulls. We're gonna go through and click on some of these logos. I want to see a little closer. Then you got the Arizona Blazing Flames, which is I feel like flames are blazing. The Arizona Fire, it's a very similar idea there. Henderson Gamblers, Idaho Outlaws, Las Vegas Royals, and you got the Navajo Nation Monster Slayers. That's a pretty cool one. Phoenix Nomads, Rio Rico Lobos, Tucson Buckets. Wrap up that one. In the Division B Alpha is Greater Rio Rancho Roadrunners. That's a alliteration there. Guy Levy Legends return. Inland Empire Hounds. Nova Stars of Southern California. The San Diego Mob and Sons, both of them return. West LA Kings. And then in the Beta Division A, looks like you got your returning Silicon Valley Panthers representing the West. California Golden Tigers, not the Bears. Clear distinction there. Contra Costa County Dental Stars, San Jose Knights, and Wolfpack. And the Gym Rats are on there as well. Okay, let's go through and click on some of these logos for the new teams, right? These, at least ones that I have not seen before. So none of them in the Central have their logos up there. Let's click on the Bennington Martins. Super blurry, but interesting design there. We're gonna break this down. I'm guessing that's a bear. Clearly a basketball, and maybe a spaceship or some kind of monument. That's what we're gonna go with. Let's see what the next one is. Vermont Coyotes. I feel like that's new as well. Oh, I'm wrong. They played. It looks like they played up there. So they're not new, but that's a pretty cool logo. It's kind of like the yeah, that's actually a cool logo. They got the coyote there with the ABA ball and the moon. I don't think I've ever seen that logo before. Worcester Majors military theme, respectable. There you go. I don't think these are fairly new. Maybe the Uptown Ballers, Thoroughbreds. I want to take a look at that. Looks like Kentucky inspired. It makes sense. And you got the horse logo at the top. Okay, now here this one looks interesting. New Jersey Soldiers. military theme there too. That's almost like a old like and one graphic, something like that. That's pretty interesting. But it got cut out a little bit, by the borders on here. But yeah, kind of like an old and one graphic. That's cool. I'm not gonna click on all of them, but let's see what this is. Alabama Smoke. That's pretty clever, that design there. You got your elephant, obviously synonymous with Alabama. Color scheme is completely different, though. You got an orange basketball, though, which is interesting for an ABA team. And then they've got the smoke, obviously, behind them in the background. The Kingdom Riders of Louisiana. It looks like it's a lion with the crown there, with some kind of blades coming out, possibly. He's got like human hands, so that's interesting. Lone Star Crusaders. It looks like they played before too. But yeah, that makes sense. This one on a closer look at the Nighthawks. Wow, that I mean that it's blurry, but that's interesting. I wonder if there's more to that design or if it's just that. Clearly, you got the hawk eyes and the hawk beak. You can tell there, but it's blurry, so you may not be able to tell on the stream. But up here, it does say Nighthawks and kind of like um, like a word art font there. But it's kind of hard to see with how blurry it is. So that's why I'm wondering if it's this is it, and then you got the tree line there too, or if there's more to that, and it just got kind of got cut off, or like with it just being the box there, maybe there is more. Um, but it's a interesting one nonetheless. Seraphim, let's see what that is. Okay, Seraphim looks like some kind of angel type thing or bird, one or the other. Again, all these pictures are kind of blurry because of how they format them. And then there's a star on there too, but all of them are kind of blurry with how they get formatted on the ABA website. Wichita Fall net burners. I'm sorry, not night burners. Oh, that's interesting. That's like it's almost like a Phoenix Suns mixed with a Miami Heat logo. That's interesting. Um, but yeah, that's cool. Let's see. These teams have played before. Let's see what this one is. Hawthorne Hurricane. Oh man, we're not even. I can't even tell. That's way too blurry, even on my end. Um, interesting though. I hope we can find their logo at some point to take a look at. The North Florida Raiders. Okay, that's kind of what it looked like from afar, but that is literally that just is Raiders. Some I feel like that's one of those generic EA big logos there. Um, is this got another I think lion themed one there with the St. Augustine Glory. Let's see what the Antelope Valley Bulls are. Okay, interesting. Yeah, anthropomorphic. We got to compare the blazing flames and the fire though. So here's the blazing flames with the state of Arizona and kind of your tribal basketball there, with the flamed color scheme, and then Arizona fire, um, with a basketball with mountains there, and then the fire behind it. Interesting. I would have thought maybe a little bit more to either one of those, but not bad regardless. Uh, this one I feel like we'll end with this one as far as the logos here. Clear distinction there. That is Cal. Not, you clearly can recognize that. There's silhouette of a dude there with a ABA ball, and then Golden Tigers. It is definitely the Golden Tigers. You definitely wouldn't think that it's any other team other than the Cal Golden Tigers. It's definitely not another animal that's golden with script Cal. You'll be mistaken. So that's what I see on that end. Get off that. Um, and we'll jump over. I don't have the ability to share this screen, unfortunately, because I have it on a different browser. Um, because I have my login saved on a different browser for the YouTube side. But if you've been keeping an eye over on the Instigators YouTube, actually, I can probably pull that up if my keyboard's going to let me go over to the YouTube. No way. Oh. Okay, let's see. It might load. It might load, guys. Or am I? Okay, I think it is loading. Wow, this is weird. But you go over on our YouTube, you might have seen we've got a couple new shorts. So let's actually share that real quick. You might have seen we have a couple new shorts on here. These are the shorts we've been posting over on the social media, but I finally got around to getting these uploaded on um, YouTube, so you guys can watch those on there too. They're just short, like 10 to 15 second highlight clips. We'll continue to do that probably once a week or so. You'll be seeing those getting put out. But I wanted to kind of break down some of the stuff. Again, I don't have the login on here. This is a different login. Um, but you can see the four that we put up. The Von Wilson dunk got over 200 views. LB's dunk over 1,000, 1.2 right now. And Levante's steal. I thought that was my best edited one. Somehow that's the lowest of all of them. I don't know how. Only 123 right now. And then Malcolm Martin's and one. Um, but the first two, the dunks, both of those were more of like your traditional highlights. The last two, the Tay and Malcolm, those two were more of the creative side of stuff. So comment and let me know which ones you guys prefer. I think I'm leaning towards more of the later two that I've done. Um, even though if we look comparatively, they were both lower in views. If we do one versus one, one versus one, so we'll wait and see. But I like how these ones come out. Again, I don't know how the one with Tay is the lowest because I mean, look at the graphic right there. I feel like that again, that alone will get you to watch. But let me know what you guys think. If you prefer one over the other, that way I can focus more on those. But so what I was going to do is I can pull it up on the other screen that you guys don't see. Um, is the numbers behind them. So even though the Von Wilson dunk only has 200 likes or 200 views, it has the most likes. It has six of the likes, and then Tays has the second most actually, with three. The other two have two each, even though they got the higher views. But this is what I thought was interesting. I was just scrolling through, looking through here, and I can see the analytics behind it. So um, we're gonna go to LB's one because that's the highest of all of them. Um, and we can see, so it's funny, like it'll tell you. You can see, like, if you've had YouTube, if you have streamed or done YouTube before where you upload your videos, you can go and see how people find you and stuff. There is like such a crazy, like, I don't know how some of these routed to people watching this. But the most common search that led to LB's dunk video was plot ideas. So multiple people somehow searched plot ideas, and that led them to this LB dunk video, which I'm sure they got some great ideas when they seen that. Obviously, that's what they were probably trying to look for, and if not, then they were definitely still enjoyed it. Um, and then I'm just gonna, kind of spam through some of these other ones that somehow got in here. Actually, we'll do the ones that are kind of related. We'll do kind of related first. So John Morant. So somebody was looking for John Morant, and instead they see an LB dunk. So I don't think they were disappointed at all with that. Shorts. I guess that makes sense. This is a short. And then you got baseball. It's not baseball, but it's still a sport, so I guess that's along the same line. And then here's where you get some of the crazy ones. I don't know how these led them to here. We're not going to go through all of them, obviously, but we'll just say some of them. So most tattooed man in the world. I don't think LB is the most tattooed man in the world, as far as I know, but somehow it led to him. Um, steal a brain rot Fortnite. So somebody's looking for some Fortnite brain rot stuff, and this isn't even one of the edited ones. It's a actual basketball clip, so somehow they got that. Um, the Titanic. Somebody was somehow looking for the Titanic and came across this. And this, I think, is probably the most interesting one. Victoria's Secret supermodel Adriana Lima. I don't know how that led to LB, but somehow we thank Victoria's Secret supermodel Adriana Lima for leading views to LB's dunk for however that happened. But I think, it's something interesting to share with you guys. Obviously, seeing that on the back end. I haven't looked at some of the other ones, but let's see if Malcolm's had some interesting ones on there too, because of obviously him having the higher view count too. Okay, so there's actually two that are tied for the most common with multiple searches. Um, and I'm sure Malcolm would like this actually. The top result that led to his highlights is actually Larry Bird highlights. Somehow, I guess, Hoosier State. Hoosier State makes sense. It's Indiana. Larry Bird, the Indiana native. Um, Larry Bird highlights led to Malcolm Martin and one. The second common one was Mason Martin basketball. Makes sense. It's got Martin and basketball in there. Um, then you've got the oddball ones. Somehow, someone was looking for Berea tacos, and they didn't get tacos. Somehow they came across this. Um, so they might still be hungry after that, but they had some fun watching this and one. Then you got the somewhat related ones with Roman Reigns retired. That's a sport, and then Neymar's skills again, sport related. And then you got the out there one, like the Burrito Tacos, is the Dodge Charger V6 straight pipe. As far as I know, Malcolm does not drive a Dodge Charger, and he does not drive a V6 Dodge Charger for sure. I don't think he does anything with straight pipes in this video. But somehow they came across it. So there's that. Makes me interested. Let's see how people came across Vaughn's and Tays as well. Basketball. Actually, somebody searched basket. That's the most common one for Vaughn's dunk is basketball, which is actually great. That's what we want people to search to find our stuff. Um, then you've got just a couple other ones on here. Jinxie. Somebody was looking for Jinxie funny moments, and they came across this, and they got 360 GZ waves on there too. So not 100% sure how those led. And then let's see what Tay's was. I feel like his is going to be the most legit ones. It's just Nelson, actually. That's all his searches were Nelson. So, yeah. So I guess apparently, if the ones come up with these crazy searches, that's how you get more of those views. Let's actually go and see. Our most viewed video ever was the one of the $10,000 contest with JoJo, where he did all of those in the allotted time. But let's see. The most commonly searched one for that was actually Hoosier State Instigator. So shout out to us on that. The NBA was the second most. Layup contest third. Apple Vision Pro somehow on there. NBA highlights, more NBA type stuff, basketball type stuff. I guess that makes all sense. If you go way down on here, you got a lot of basketball ones, basketball players. Um, let's give you the crazy one though. We've got a couple of crazy ones on here. Um, Somebody searched hacks and it came up with JoJo. Mafia is another one. How Teslas work. Apparently, that was how Teslas work. Um, Somebody searched Justin Bieber playing hockey and came up with that. That's crazy. And then the last one we're gonna leave it at is twerking. Somehow somebody searched twerking and they came across one of our videos, which I can guarantee you does not have that. So interesting. But that's just some of the insights as far as the YouTube numbers and stuff. I figured I'd share that with you guys. Just because, like I said, I was not able to get the season review kind of built as I had wanted to. Um, but we're now in May. We've got probably, I think we're gonna have a tryout here in the near future. So keep an eye out on that. Um, Once we do, obviously, we're going to be talking more about that. But I think that's probably as far as your Instigators update. That's what we've got in the works right now. And then obviously, when you have more announcements on stuff and um, rosters and all that type of stuff, we'll share that too. But normally we do that after tryouts. So keep an eye out for that here in the near future. Again, I won't be here next weekend, next week for Instigate Success, but I'll be back the week following. So hopefully that time I have this all figured out as far as getting the computer working, and if not, I'll use maybe the work computer and work time to do that. But don't tell them that. Anyways, that is what we've got for tonight's episode. Again, I apologize for making it a little bit shorter due to those circumstances. Um, but this has been episode 124 of Instigate Success, building an ABA franchise. Keep an eye out on the socials. You'll see some more of those highlight clips. And we'll be posting those on the YouTube here too, as well, over on the shorts. But until the next couple of weeks, I'll see you in a few weeks. We will be back again 9 p.m. Eastern for Instigate Success, building an ABA franchise. But until then, as always, be great and instigate.